Hey everyone, this is your girl Lynette from DARS Credit Solutions. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. I want to give a big shout out to Jackie Roy. Today is her birthday. Uptown's Jackie Roy. We are tuning in today using the platform StreamYard. Please like, click, tag, share. If you have to post comments, please let StreamYard know that you have to post comments so you can place your comments inside the comment section. I did say comment like 3 times. I deeply apologize. Welcome. I am live. I have been streaming my replay for literally 2 weeks to prepare y'all for today's Credit Tip Tuesday. If this is the first time you are tuning in, please place in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you are watching the replay, please place in the comments hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay. Again, share. Sharing is free. Give people the knowledge so they can be prepared, far as credit, and it's free. This is a safe space, and welcome in everyone. This is a time for you to ask any questions you want. It doesn't matter what the questions are. If I can't answer them at the moment, I will invite you to, send me a message and we can have a discussion and will be no cost to you. If you ask me a question within my messenger, I will send you to my website and you will have to schedule. Again, this is a safe space for anybody to have any credit questions. Please feel free to share. Again, today is Jackie Roy's birthday, and it is February 22nd, 2022. We are live. I will be starting shortly. Today's topic is the new FICO Score 10T. It is up and coming. It will be utilized in purchases as far as housing, credit cards, lending, all over. It will be the new scoring model. Fair Isaac Credit Corporation no longer owns FICO. FICO Score 10T will not replace any of the scoring models. It will be more robust, and there's a T behind it because that is the importance. So as everyone is tuning in, please let me know again if this is the first time you are watching. Place in the comments where you are tuning in from, and if you're watching a replay, please put hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday in the comments. Let's see here. So welcome everyone. We will begin shortly to give people a chance to, log on and see if they can, let me know if where you are tuning. Let me know if you're watching currently as well. Let me see. All right, so we will be getting started shortly on Credit Tip Tuesday. I'm also going to share this in my stories to let people know that I am on and I am live. Please, got it. Let me see if I also shared this on Black Girls Have Good Credit Too, because I'm going to start by showing you something in regards to why the T is important with the new FICO scoring model. As everyone is tuning in, please again, like, click, and share. This is very important. I'm going to show you something that was presented to me by our very own Sean Martin. She's one of the admins of Black Girls Have Good Credit Too. That's formerly, by Jasmine Patton. Shout out to my admins and all 25,000 of the individuals in Black Girls Have Good Credit Too. If you are not a member, please join. It's a lot of information in there, which is free. It is a self-help tool in order for you to build your credit. Jasmine Patton has established this quite some time ago, and it's over 25,000 members. I am sharing also within the group. So if you are in the group, please share this to other members as well. We're going to get started. Let's see. So while everybody is coming in, we're going to start because there was a question asked and Black girls got good credit too. And it was more so of, again, should we spend our entire credit limit on the card that we are approved of? When you see this, I'm going to ask a series of questions in regards to this, and I would like for you guys to answer. And I will also go over why my feelings is what it is. Credit is to be analyzed by the numbers based on tailored to the person's needs. It's not something you incorporate inside a machine and utilize software in order to fix someone's problem. In order for someone to be able to understand and build credit, they must understand the numbers that's tailored to them regarding credit. So DALS Credit Solutions don't do credit. We analyze credit based on the numbers that's tailored to your needs. We identify the pain points, the behavior spending patterns, along with how you utilize your money overall, personal and business. So again, if this is your first time tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. We are using StreamYard. Make sure you place the comments in the comment section, because I only can see it in StreamYard. I can't see it on Facebook. If this is your first time tuning in, please, please let me know where you're tuning in from. So we're going to get started because we are 9 after the hour. And again, happy Black History Month to all my small businesses that I featured so far. There's many more to come. And remember, Black History is every day, not just in February. So I'm going to play this clip for you guys, and I'm going to share my screen. So let's see. We can do this. All right. So this is a question, and I'm going to play this for y'all so y'all can see why I am very eager to talk about this. And let me know if you agree with this gentleman. He is on TikTok, and I will play it now.
Now, let's just say we both apply for the same credit card. You get approved for $500, I get approved for $500. Now, let's talk about how you use this $500 credit card. You immediately spend $300, which leaves you with $200 left that you can spend. When your due date comes, you pay back $35. 5 of that is interest, which means now you have an available credit limit of $230. You stop spending on this credit card. At the end of month 2, you still have a $230 balance. You pay $35 on that $230 balance. 5 of that is interest. You now have $260 you can spend on that card. Once again, you spend no more money on this card. You follow the same vicious cycle for the next couple of months. This is what it looks like after 4 months of using this card. Now let's talk about how I use a credit card. Just like you, I have a $500 credit limit. I immediately spend $490 on this card, which leaves me with $10 of credit left. 5 days later, I pay all $490 back. Then I immediately use another $490 on bills, restaurant, fast food, gas, anything that I can think of. 5 days later, I pay all $490 back. This gives me my $500 credit limit back. I repeat the same process. 3 days before the statement date, I make my final $490 payment, which puts me right back at $500. For 4 months, I repeat this process. The difference between me and you after 4 months is that you spent a total of $300, paid $20 in interest to the credit card company, still owe $180, and currently have a utilization rate of 27%. Me, on the other hand, I spent almost $6,000. I paid $0 in interest since I pay by the statement date, not the due date. I owe them no money, and I have a 0% utilization rate. At the end of the 4 months, we both apply for a credit limit increase. You get denied and are stuck with your $500 credit limit. I get approved, and they bump me up to $2,000.
Let me remove this. 2 things that he exemplified, and that information is not mine. It's from a gentleman. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
But I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Let me see here.
I went through all of this shit and paid
I'm sorry, I just realized I was on mute. Thank you very much, Jane, for letting me know. So sorry about that. So the video you guys just saw was a gentleman that I don't own the data. He's someone on TikTok, very well known and well respected. He utilized two analogies. He said, one, we have a $500 limit, right? And he talked about how it's some keywords I want you guys to pay attention to. He said, well, you have a $500 limit. He has a $500 limit. The target of it is for you guys to see how he spends compared to how others spend. So his way of spending was called a transactor. The other way, the first way was called a revolver. So with the new FICO Score T, it's going to show you why his way is never going to work. One, two things. A statement date and payment due date has nothing to do with each other. You must know this. A statement date allows you to see the next billing cycle. The statement date is part of your billing cycle. So you have to understand your billing cycle is what's reported on the actual credit report. And that's part of the new FICO Score T, 10T, which the T stands for transit. It's the data and how you utilize your credit cards. One. Two, the keyword he uses on the first one, he said, you stop spending your card. You literally stop spending your card. So as you stop, can you guys hear me? There is no sound now. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? See if someone type in yes or no? Because I was talking. Let me see. Can anyone hear me? 714. Yes, no. Okay, good. So I'll go back to what I was saying. So I literally, thank you guys. Hi, Veronica. She's always my savior, her and Bobby. You have to understand the two examples that he gave you. One, $500 was the limit. Two, they both, one demonstrated a revolver. This is someone that leaves a balance on their card every month and only pay the minimum. The second one was called a transactor, which someone that pays the balance in its entirety. Now, transit, when it comes to FICO Score T, it's going to measure your behavior spending for 24 months and beyond, period. So he said, basically, you have a $500 limit. You spend $230, $230, and then you have a $5 interest. You pay $35 and you repeat this. But then he used the word you stop spending, right? You stop spending. On the second one, he used the same $500 analogy, but he said you immediately spend $490. And then you have, jumped out. You spend $490 and then you turn around and you have $10 left. You pay the $490 5 days before the billing cycle. Then you do this repeatedly for 4 months. At the end of the video, it states that he asked for a credit increase for $2,000 and he was awarded. And then the person A was stuck with a $500 credit limit, which they started with. I can promise you this. If he does this and asks for an increase, he's going to be denied. And I'm going to tell you why. One, the credit risk in that is you don't have any emergency set aside, first of all. If you can pay $490 every 5 days and pay it back, he didn't spend $6,000. He also paid in $6,000 because if you remember, he says, I have a $500 limit. I pay $490. I do this every month. You spend 6,000 to get a 2,000, but the person that have a balance started with 500 and it still is at 500. Who's more of the risk? He is. Let me tell you why. If you had to spend 6,000 to get a $2,000 raise on your credit limit, 2 divided by 6, everything is a number, is 1/3 of which you have honestly saved in your reserves. And the way behavior spending is measured is you need to at least have a reserve of 9 months and better. So he's more of a credit risk than the person that is client A that still have a balance. Now, yes, it is good that he pays his debt off in its entirety, but if you're spending immediately and paying it off immediately, you are a risk. Not saying it's not right, but where's your reserves? Why you're not using cash and why you're not using other credit cards? Because if you have these limits and you had to spend 2,000 to spend 6,000 to get a $2,000 raise, that doesn't make sense. But the person that carried a 5% interest over and over again is just as bad as a risk. So neither one of them going to get a raise, because the first case leaves a balance. The second case doesn't leave a balance claim. And then he had to spend 6,000 to get 2,000. He's going to be stuck at the 500. I can promise you that. First of all, there's something called average daily balance. It depends on the things they leave out of, these type of scenarios. What date did he make his purchase and what day did he pay it off? How much interest was accrued during the balance of that period? So there's no such thing of a credit card not having a 0% balance, meaning 0% interest, unless you have APR of 0% going in, and they are your higher credit limits. They are not your actual $500 cards. So you have to look at the analogy when someone presents this to you to say, if you spent $6,000 to get a $2,000 limit increase, are you really a transactor? You're a revolver. It's called poor behavior spending. You're setting a trend that you spend fast and pay fast. Where's your cash reserves? Where's your savings? The new FICO Score 10T model will be able to capture that data. And it's more so of a bell curve, more so of stats on how you look at your finances. They're not going to just look at how you pay. They're going to look at your credit risk overall. So we're going over this, and thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Bobby. How everyone is tuning in. It is February 22nd, 2022. It's 222. It's one of my favorite numbers. This is the first time you are tuning in. Please like, click, tag, and share. If this is the first time you are tuning in, please place in the comments where you are tuning in from. My name is Lynette. I am the CEO and founder of Credit Tip Tuesday and DALS Credit Solutions, and I appreciate everyone that is tuning in thus far. I will replay the video again so we can go back and repeat this, and then we're going to move forward with the slides. If anyone have any questions, please place them in the comments so we can have them answered. This is a safe space when it comes to your credit. This is not a place of no one will be made fun of or not able to ask questions. This is a comfortable area. It doesn't matter what you're going through and how you're going through. This is a place and time to answer the questions. I also want to give another shout out to Jackie Wood. Today is her birthday. And my buddy Candace, this is her 1-year anniversary of buying a home. So if you guys see Candace, she is part of Black Girls Have Good Credit too. Give her a shout out and we will continue. So let me check Facebook to see if there are any type of questions if I cannot see on StreamYard. Let me see. And make sure you guys like, click, tag, and share. Thank you. Oh, Lord. Let me see. And if this is your first time tuning in, please place in the comments where you are tuning in from, because this is very, very important. All right, got it. So I'm going to share this video again, and so you guys can get you know, the legits of why you should not spend your entire limit on your credit cards. Let's get into it, people. Let me see. Wrong. I'm trying to find my I don't know what I did with that. We're gonna pull this up so you guys can have an idea on this video that we are talking about. Let's see here. And again, please share. And congratulations to Britt. She also got a credit increase, very large credit increase. Congratulations. I'm going to play this again. And then we're going.
I get approved for 500. Now let's talk about how you use this 500.
All right, let's go back. And I'm going to go back to my. And we're going to share my screen. And then we're going to Windows. Let's get into it, people. All right.
Now let's just say we both apply for the same credit card. You get approved for 500. I get approved for 500. Now let's talk about how you use this $500 credit card. You immediately spend 300 bucks, which leaves you with $200 left that you can spend. When your due date comes, you pay back $35. 5 of that is interest, which means now you have an available credit limit of $230. You stop spending on this credit card. At the end of month 2, you still have a $230 balance. You pay $35 on that $230 balance. 5 of that is interest. You now have $260 you can spend on that card. Once again, you spend no more money on this card. You follow the same vicious cycle for the next couple of months. This is what it looks like after 4 months of using this card. Now let's talk about how I use a credit card. Just like you, I have a $500 credit limit. I immediately spend $490 on this card, which leaves me with $10 of credit left. 5 days later, I pay all $490 back. Then I immediately use another $490 on bills, restaurant, fast food, gas, anything that I can think of. 5 days later, I pay all $490 back. This gives me my $500 credit limit back. I repeat the same process. 3 days before the statement date, I make my final $490 payment, which puts me right back at 500 bucks. For 4 months, I repeat this process. The difference between me and you after 4 months is that you spent a total of $300, paid $20 in interest to the credit card company, still owe 180 bucks, and currently have a utilization rate of 27%. Me, on the other hand, I spent almost $6,000. I paid $0 in interest since I pay by the statement date, not the due date. I owe them no money, and I have a 0% utilization rate. At the end of the 4 months, we both apply for a credit limit increase. You get denied and are stuck with your $500 credit limit. I get approved, and they bump me up to $2,000.
Where is my? So let's stop sharing. So I don't know if you guys saw the screen. I did replay that. And again, I will go over this again to let you guys know why you should not do this. 1, key things. They both had a $500 limit. Case A paid the minimum balance. Case B, he paid the full balance. One is called a revolver. One is called a transactor. The revolver is the one that only pays the minimum balance, along with paying the interest every month. Like I mentioned before, key things. If you leave a balance on your credit cards every month, you will accrue a balance. Case A. 2, case B, he paid it. But key factors in case A. How can you determine one's credit utilization at 27%? What numbers is this person going off of? Because if you have a 27% utilization, maybe he's dividing the number that is still remaining over the limit that's given. That might be the case. If we do it, be 265 over 500, it would be more than 27%. It will actually be 50+%. So where did the 27% come from, first off? Second, how was it determined that the interest was only $5? So when the numbers are made up, they must make sense, first of all. Second of all, if case B, right, said he paid it every month, didn't leave a balance, 0% utilization, and he had a $2,000 increase. You had to spend $6,000 to get a $2,000 increase. There is a problem, because if you can spend $6,000, you should be able to get a $6,000 credit limit and not a $2,000, because there's a 1/3% chance that they're not going to get that type of money back, first of all. Second of all, they know there's a risk, because this person can spend $490 and pay $490 and spend $490 and pay $490. But the person is not telling you is they don't know how to accrue the average daily balance. And what that shows you, that the amount of interest that's purchased that accrues once a purchase is made. So it's a lot of a lot of areas of uncertainty on case B. First of all, if you ask for a credit increase from A or B, neither one of them is getting it, because the new FICO Score in 10T and previous scoring models that used to be owned by Fair Isaac, they have a new scoring model that adds not only the credit utilization, how you spend, and the resilience score. It's very important if you know the numbers. Our company, DALS Credit Solutions, we don't use software. We analyze the pain points of individuals that tailors in to their needs to improve not only behavior spending, but give them insights on how to obtain their own trade lines and spend accordingly based off of the numbers. So if anybody have any questions, we're going to get into the slides. And if you want a copy of the slides, please put your email in the actual comment section, so we can send these slides out, so you can have this, so you can educate yourself further. And if you have questions, please always come back to the Credit Tip Tuesday that was aired in to ask the questions, so myself or my team can answer them. It's very important. It's free when you come on this platform, because it's a safe space. When you come in my inbox, I will send you to my website, and there's a fee. I'd rather for you to get as much knowledge for free. This is like free couponing. You can grab me and ask any questions you want, because this is what this is here. This is what Credit Tip Tuesday is about. So I'm going to add these slides. When we talk about FICO Score 10T, the T means transit. It's a data module that calculates your behavior spending in the billing cycle, aka statement closing date, which is either 28 for the month of February, 30 and 31 for other months, on how your behavior is spending, how you spend your money, how you utilize your money, how you save your money, and how you do your credit cards, and how you pay your bills. So when we get into this, let me know if you can see the screen. If you need it bigger, I will make it bigger. My face will shrink, and I will give you guys more of the slides. So FICO Score T is designed to capture the behaviors on how you manage your money. It is no different than FICO Scores 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9 when it comes to the basis. But the T looks at the data trend, your spending trend for 24 months and beyond. So they can go back as far as 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. If you have a spending pattern of, I get a credit card for $500, I spend $490, I get a credit card, I spend $490 again, are you going to be considered credit worthy to lenders? And the answer is no. So when you use the trend is going to come from all lenders, current lenders, the credit bureaus, along with it sends a complete picture, or you are credit risk. We spoke on earlier, statement closing date and payment due date. They have nothing to do with each other. Absolutely nothing. The payment due date is when your payment is due. The statement closing date is when the billing cycle that gets reported to the credit bureaus. your behavior pattern and how you spend your credit card. That's what the billing cycle is. It's how you spend within the period of that month utilizing your credit card. Again, the payment due date and the statement closing date has nothing to do with each other. The payment date is the date your amount is owed. The statement closing date is what's reported to the bureaus on how you utilize that card or that whatever you got during that period. That's all it is. It also allows you to see the next billing cycle, which includes your annual purchase rate, which is your APR, which averages between 16.5 and 26.7%, along with if you have a remaining balance that's rolled over. A lot of times you'll hear people say, well, I paid the entire balance. Why do I still owe $44? Because there's an interest that accrues. This is the stuff people don't talk about. And it's very important when you learn this, you will know that you will rather be a transactor and not spend the remaining limit, but do it in accordance that you become credit worthy. So when an issue happens or they want to extend you a line of credit, you never have to ask. Never have to ask. Let me see. Okay. Got it. So there's some key terms that you really need to understand this. And I went over this and I did the replay. It's called the APR. And we spoke about this, the annual percentage rate for purchases, your statement closing date, payment due date, paying interest, penalty fees, late fees, all of the above. When you make a minimum payment or even a full balance payment, it starts with the lowest APR. If you don't know what the lowest APR is, you can't just look at it and say, okay, I spent $490, so I'm going to pay back $490. The money is, divided in certain areas of the system. Meaning, if you have a 16.9 APR, maybe during your first purchase, you had an APR of 1.3, or you had an APR of 1.4, so on and so on. That first payment always goes to the lowest APR. And I'll say this again. If you spent $490, and you did it in a series of cycles, meaning you spent 20 here, 40 here, 60 here, whatever the case may be, and you pay back the $490 5 days before, 5 days later, where did the actual $490 go to? Because again, when people pay that spending amount, that amount they spent on the credit card, they always say the following month, why do I have a balance? Because I paid the amount I spent. When you spend that, the payments always go to the lowest APR. And it's very important you guys know this. Again, we talked about FICO Score T, which represents the new wave. It's a way they look at your data for 24 months and beyond. And lenders don't have to tell you how far back they go. If they use a new scoring model, they have a right to tell you they're using the right scoring, this new scoring model. They don't have to tell you how far back they're going to go. They can trend it from 24 months to 60 months to 120 months. It doesn't matter. So that's why it's better to know how to spend according to the credit card agreement and also how you look at your money. Because if you're swiping and paying, they're going to ask, do you even have a reserve? And why do you need to use your card so much? And if you only got a $500 card, the companies know you don't have that many more. So please think things through before we look at information in other places and say, hey, this is why I pay. This is why I spend my amount, the whole credit card every month, and then I pay it off. It doesn't make sense to do that. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, this is Lynette, and I am the founder of DALS Credit Solutions. We are live using StreamYard. If you are utilizing this the first time, please let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from, and also where if you're watching the replay, put in the comments hashtag Credit Tip Tuesday replay. This data that I'm citing this from is Corporate Finance Institute. This is a finance institute that gives certifications on as far as credit and look at overall finances overall. I am obtaining a certification from this, and these are ways that we look at credit and not using software. There are 5 C's that play an important part in this. And this is how this data is going to be trended on your credit cards. They look at your character, which is your credit worthiness. They evaluate this. And this is all the trend they're going to evaluate, because credit card companies and different lenders are, they're going through a series of charge-offs repeatedly, and they don't want to be a risk anymore. So when you're not a risk, you get higher limits. You never have to ask for a credit increase if you are honestly doing things according to your credit card agreement and credit worthiness. Yes, it's best to pay off your limits, but it's not good to spend and do it continuously and paying it, because they're going to ask, why should we give you $2,000 if you can spend $6,000? If you were credit worthy, they would give you the full $6,000. Managing their payments and the character of you, it shows again how relevant you are to the lender. Are you credit worthy? And this is all in your payments. You're looking at the collateral, and this is based off, again, what we just discussed. One, if you have part of the 5 seasons, the second piece that they look at is the collateral. If you have a $500 credit limit and you're spending $490, how much collateral do you have? Really none. Because again, the scoring module and the algorithms are not slow. They are designed to capture data, which is a trend that will continuously see the patterns. If the patterns are bad and the pattern behaviors are, far as abrupt and spending to get an increase, does that really make sense for you to spend $490 out of a $500 credit limit? Again, the answer is no. So as you're being assessed for secure product, unsecured product, they want to know, what are your assets? If you have a $500 limit and you're spending $490 repeated just to get a $2,000 limit, again, they know you don't have many assets. Capital also goes off of what we just discussed. Capital is something that they want to know if you have. And it's plays in the resilience score. And the resilience score you can find on FICO, it ranges from 1 to 100. 1 to 30 being the lowest, 31 to 45 being moderate, and 45 to 100 being severe. So the lower the resilience score, the stronger the credit score. The higher the resilience score, the lower the credit score. Now, I have seen it backwards. However, you must know these 5 C's plays a part on the trend on decisions being made in regards to credit. So again, we use the example on the video that we showed twice. The capital, it's a series of assets that if you have an economic downturn, can you honestly survive on a $500 and expect a $2,000 increase? You have to look at the numbers, people. It's very important. So the conditions, and this is again the 5 C's of credit, and it's the rollout any transactions. And again, we're speaking on a video that we saw and the myth that goes around when it says spend your entire limit and pay it back. If the actual conditions, such as the principal amount of interest and it's being assessed and you're looked at as a risk, do you think that they're going to lend you anything by paying it off and not paying the interest that goes along with it? The answer is no. As we continue, if this is your first time tuning in, please place your where you're tuning in the comments. I am streaming on StreamYard. This is being streamed also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, not yet, LinkedIn. So thank you for everybody that's tuning in as we continue. Excuse me. So out of these 5 payment history and credit utilization, they are the ones that will have the most impact. So I asked you a question. You can put in the comments later or now if you choose to. Out of the payment history and the credit utilization, which one you think have the strongest impact, and tell me why. In FICO Score 10T. Last week, like I said, I ran the Credit Tip Tuesday repeatedly, and I based my information that I utilize when it comes to the period of paying a debt off, and how you're spending it during the billing cycle is so important. Again, the billing cycle and the payment date have nothing to do with each other. Let me repeat that. The billing cycle and the payment due date has absolutely nothing to do with each other. The statement closing date is the activity within the billing cycle, either 28, 30, or 31 days, to see how you spent and behave or how you did transactions during that period. The payment due date is exactly what it is, when the date of the amount is due. You often hear times people say, I paid my entire balance. Why do I still have an amount due the following date, the following month? Because you forgot to pay the interest that accrues daily after the purchase. Very important to know that. So we went over this during the Credit Tip Tuesday, and I won't go deep into it because it's a lot of mathematics and metrics within it. But this also is based on the trend. If you can pay a debt off in 5 days and you repeat this cycle, will you have purchases that's still within the billing cycle? And the answer is yes, because you might have made the payment on the 9th, which your due date would be on the 14th, because the statement close date might be on the 21st. But they failed to tell you if purchases were made after that due date was after the due date, you're still within that billing cycle, and that activity is reported to the credit bureaus and looked at your credit worthiness, which is going to accrue interest, bottom line. So you have to look at this wholeheartedly. And we use the month of December to allow people to see that you have to know the date you swipe your card from the purchase. It starts from day one to that date. So for example, I used a $2,000 credit limit on the last Credit Tip Tuesday, and this person had a $2,000 limit. They made the payment on the 9th, but however, they made a purchase on the 15th. They made a purchase on the 10th for $981. They made a $2,000 payment on the 9th. Their due date was on the 14th, and the bill closed cycle on the 21st. However, there were purchases in between. If you look at the screen, it was purchases on the 15th of $275, purchases on the 27th for $700, and a purchase on the 29th of $44. But however, you paid $2,000 on the 9th because the payment was due on the 14th and the billing cycle closed on the 21st. The interest accrued from day one, even on December 1st with a zero balance, but on the 10th, you made a purchase of $981. So the way that the interest is accrued is from day one, from the first day of the billing cycle to the first day of the purchase, that day of the purchase, and it continues. So again, if you want these slides, I will email them to you. If you put your emails in the comments, I will gladly send them to you. And I will be I will stream this replay repeatedly to get you guys to get the concept, and I will make this a series and allow it to continue. So when you do this, it measures and it gives a trend to mitigate risk and create if you are credit worthy or not. The resilience score is factored into this, along with your payment history, age, utilization, overall credit, all 5 factors. However, the question was asked, which one is the more dominant? So as you go through these steps, and I concluded to say, do not spend your entire limit on your card, because the annual percentage rate is going to calculate from the least to, the maximum amount, and the maximum amount can be 16.5 to 27%. And the reason for that is because it shows the activity, which sets a trend on how you're going to be scored either as a risk, a revolver, or a transactor. So the question I ask again, which one is the most dominant when it comes to FICO score 10T? Is it the payment history or is it utilization? The answer is the utilization. Credit utilization may be only 30%, but the weight within the utilization also is factored into the resilient score, which is determined on if you're credit worthy or not. Again, this is your girl, Annette Stevenson. I am the founder of DALS Credit Solutions. I will open the floor to questions. And I thank everyone for tuning in because, you know, it is very important. You have to understand that it's unhealthy for you to spend your entire amount, unless it's an emergency. You know, I don't tell people what to do. When they say they have an emergency, they have to do what they have to do. They have to do what they have to do. But it doesn't make sense mathematically in order for you to look at a $500, a $10,000, a $20,000 credit limit and spend 98% of it or 99% of it and then pay it back 5 days later and do this repeatedly to get 1/3 of a credit increase. Look at the numbers, people. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work. You have to understand the dynamics of the numbers. Our company, again, DALS Credit Solutions, we look at the pain points and we tailor the needs to the individual based off of their performance overall. We don't use software. We dispute according to the laws, and we are federally, state, and local regulated. We hold over 29 certifications, Goldman Sachs grads, and also we got into another program, which I cannot display yet, but it will be coming out soon. And to let you guys know, it doesn't make sense to spend 80% of your money to get a 30% increase. You have to look at the numbers, people. If you don't have cash and reserves or you don't have, good behavior spending, you're going to get a poor decision every time. You're going to be looked at as a risk. And FICO Score 10T will outdo all the other score models when it comes to risk because larger corporations are decreasing their charge-offs. They are decreasing. They are changing the rules of credit. So when you do things fast, it's not effective. But if you do things steady at pace, you become resilient. If you have any questions, please place them in the comments. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this will be streamed repeatedly for the remainder of the week until the next Credit to Tuesday. If you would like to see a topic on here that you want me to discuss, and also I invite people to come on if they want to do a live. Again, this is a safe space in order for you to grow. People have bought homes, cars, larger increases of credit overall without even seeing me or consult with me. They go back and they look at the data on my business page, DALS Credit Solutions. Also, make sure you like and follow to gain the knowledge. Because when you're consistent and you want it, you'll take the time to do it. Much love. Happy Black History Month. Black History is every day. I love you guys. I will see you next week. I will stream. If you would like the slides, please place your email in the comments and we will send the slides off to you. You guys have a wonderful night and God bless.